because I think for guys, like, they're really scared of, like, to talk about their feelings, and they really suppress it inside. Because like, you got raised like you have to be strong, you have to make the money with the girls, blah blah blah, and there are these guy groups, and they talk about these surface subjects, like it's like work, how much you earn, like that kind of stuff, but not like how you truly feel inside, because it makes you weak as a man, you know. And I think that's a huge problem. Like for you, like opening up, it's like something is going off of your shoulders, you know what I mean? It's like you feel more light now, right? Yeah, and I think most men need to learn that. I have to get rid of.
I have like this like varying view, because like when we do this right now, of course it's like good, because like we're doing this like what he said. He's like, I just said it, and I don't even care what you said, Mike. Like I just feel good now, you know. But then you go too far on that end. Like there's some men's circles that like I went to, and I stopped going. Like seriously, Nico knows what's up, because he goes to these men's circles, and he hears like all this bullshit all the time. Like men are congregating, and at first it starts off like healthy, like, oh, this is how I feel, awesome, I feel great, this is my outlet, now it's time back to my business. But then what happens is, when people aren't conscious and knowing the intention with it, and knowing like if they're seeking validation, it then turns into the negative aspect of sharing too much of your feelings.
So what I see in a lot of men's circles, how they called, is that they emulate women's circles. So they just talk and like, listen, men traditionally, when do we talk? When we do shit together. So we're not sitting on a table talking and complaining. What we do, we're fishing. Or we're boxing, we're doing something, we're bowling, we're taking a walk.
Podcasting. Walking with your man.
It's like, research has shown that like when men do talk about our feelings and stuff, but it's like this, we're talking about our feelings. This is too confrontational. So as a woman, right, if you want to talk with your man about emotions, go sit next to him instead of in front of him. It opens up, it's more, then they can feel more relaxed.
Well, I'm talking even about just like the intention. So right now, he's saying shit on exactly how he feels. And all we really are just like the receiving end of things. And he actually doesn't really give a fuck about like what we say, because he's like, wow, that feels good. I just took off a mask. This feels like great. And that's like, especially as a man, like we should say things not to spark a reaction in someone else, but just because, like, for example, it makes us feel wholesome and on our purpose. But then there's like some men's circles when they get around that they literally say the thing that they're going through, and then they look around to see for like validation. And then when they're like, oh, are you okay? I'm so sorry, man. They're just like, it's like a little dopamine hit of drugs. Just like, oh, wow. Like I feel like this love and connection and significance because I was able to fucking complain. And then now
but at the same time, I understand that that's your view. But
that's what happened, because like remember the first like men's circle I went to, I was like, fuck this shit. Everyone's just complaining and just crying, and there's no like.
But the thing is, a lot of people have trauma. A lot of people feel alone. A lot of people have nobody, and so in that moment, when they get that validation that somebody's listening, somebody's seeing, and I know like some people get stuck in that pattern, but I understand, because if you have nobody, if you have absolutely nobody, if you're alone, then that is the only thing that you can have, and they live in that scarcity.
But what if they get trained with that, you know? Because
of course they get trained. The first time
it's all right, like, yeah, dude, wow, you just like open up your mind, wow, you could like share your feelings, but then to constantly go. Of course,
you that's a conditioning, you know. It's like when you can train, for example, like you train a dog, your partner. Or your friends. When your friends are always complaining, you give them attention, what they're gonna do? They're gonna complain more. So what you need to do, you don't have to punish them, but when they complain, you just acknowledge them as a person, but you don't really react. And then they say something a little bit more positive, then you pay attention. It's like, some people find it very manipulative, but I see it. No, I see it as it's communicating with our animal brain. Communicating through our behaviors. We don't have to always say something to influence somebody. No, our behaviors speak louder, and that's why what a lot of women in suppressed countries do. For example, a lot of women in Java, they get taught by their mother how to talk to their man, so their man feels like a king, and then he will treat her as a queen. But they will not say you have to do this. They put little seeds and they condition them. When the man does something that they like, they give them what they want. They give them something they reward them. And when the man do something disgusting, they ignore him. And in that way, it's just like you communicate with the child. By your behavior, you're showing them what you like and what you don't like. But for sure, a lot of men were very disagreeable. I will decide
obviously,
what I
like
do.
right now.
Yeah, I'm disagreeable as
You can swear on this podcast.
Okay, as fuck.
You just made your own bleep. I'm fucking.
Yeah,
yeah,
because I've just come back from the States where everyone, oh, you can't say that shit.
Oh yeah, you're
I'm
also
okay.
like hanging out with like 11-year-olds, so you can't like
Yeah, well,
swear on LA.
that's true. But so, what was I now? Oh yeah, so then when a woman tells you, I want you to do this, even if I wanted to do it initially, no. It's a natural, that's a personality that you can't change it. That's your go-to mode. I will decide what I do.
It's like Inception. Like they need to like, go.
And when I had a woman, and I knew when she was manipulating me. I knew it, and I loved it because she was expressing what she wants, but not in a telling way. You have to do this. No, she just planted some seeds. The best thing she said, like, I don't think you can do it. You're too young. Immediately, I changed my behavior. Immediately. What, I can't do it? You wait. And I knew what she was doing, but it's perfect. It's very motivating.
Did she subconsciously know what she was doing?
Or she consciously knew what
she
was
knew
doing.
it.
Of course, their mother taught her
Yeah.
how to do that. It's amazing.
Do you feel like more people need to raise their kids knowing this? Because like we're learning a bunch of bullshit, but then what we're also forgetting is just knowing how to like relate to human beings.
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
to authentically relate and how to have a conversation where it's like you just have a conversation and just learn.
Yeah, and a lot of people just talk and talk and talk and nothing happens because talk is very, like trying to change behavior through verbal things is very difficult. It's just blah 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 blah. Goes in here, goes out there, and we have shared our heart. But very often it's just very superficial. So if you want to change behavior, the best way is to change your behavior. See how you are rewarding people acting in a way that you don't like. For example, some men are very sloppy, or women's very sloppy. Same thing. For example, let's say a woman is very sloppy and leaves everything, and you're cleaning up and you're giving them shit. You're rewarding it. You're giving them attention. You're making them feel that what they do is important. It's subconscious. They don't really say that, or they get disagreeable, like, you know what, we'll leave another thing on the floor. But then if you leave it there, you don't say nothing, it will start to pile up and you will have to breathe deeply into I want it clean, but then very often, then the moment they picks up one, he falls over something and he puts it away, or she puts it away, then you reward, and you say, I love it when you do that, thank you. Something very small. Well, there's a pile of shit, but they picked up one thing, and then they're gonna feel really good, like, wow, I did that. It was my decision. I was not enforced, and all of a sudden, I make her or him happy, and then you're gonna, of course, do it more and more, and then you're gonna then you give less and less. You only give when they do more. And like that, you can communicate. It's not manipulation, it's a communication in a way that changes behavior like that. It's so fast.
I think the biggest thing that you said was it's not manipulation, it's communication. It's just like most people don't know how to fucking communicate. They're just like retarded when it comes to that. Like I was.
Yeah, well, that's because our parents do the best with what they know, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if our parents don't know, if they weren't taught, for example, like how to express love, right? Like my father is born in Ghana, he's African, so his father never taught him how to express love. So then obviously he's going to teach me like how he thinks he should express love, which is by not saying it ever to my face ever. And so then I feel like, oh, this is how you express love. So I carry those habits into my relationships, and the chain rarely breaks until some person does the work on themselves to basically like rewire those beliefs.
Yes.
So that's what I'm doing now, is learning how to like express love in the way that I want to do it, and then being that person and then going to my dad and doing that to him. So
Yes.
by my actions, I will be teaching my dad how to express love.
Exactly.
So, for
Beautiful,
example, at the last of like a few months ago, I called my dad and told him for the first time on a video call that I love him because he's in London, right? And it was interesting. His reaction was like, he just started smiling because that's like a way of deflecting.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, oh, but inside he can feel the emotion, but he's using the humor as a mask of the emotion that he's feeling. And he's like, oh, I love you too. And he didn't really know how to act because he's never had that happen to him. And my friend Emil, he expressed love to his dad, and I was speaking to his dad, and he was like, yeah, I'm from South Africa, and I've never been taught how to do that. So that's why it's weird when it happened to me as well. So I feel like, you know, we can be the change, like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Like it starts with us, and then we can break the chain, break the cycle.